10 years. That's how long some Japanese swordsmiths train before they are allowed to create a blade of their own. Not 1 year, not 3 years, 10 years. And even after a decade, many still consider themselves students. So what happens during those 10 years? And why would anyone dedicate that much time to mastering a single craft? To understand that, we have to go back hundreds of years. For centuries, Japanese swords were more than weapons. They represented status, honor, responsibility, and for many people, they represented the soul of the warrior. Because of that importance, creating a sword was never considered ordinary work. It was a sacred craft, one that demanded patience, discipline, and complete dedication. Even today, becoming a swordsmith in Japan is one of the most difficult traditional careers someone can choose. The journey usually begins with becoming an apprentice. But unlike modern schools, students don't begin by making swords. At first, they clean, they sweep the floor, prepare charcoal, move heavy equipment, organize tools, watch their master work, and listen for months, sometimes years. They may not even touch steel. Instead, they learn something else: how to observe, how to focus, how to remain patient. Because before learning techniques, they must first learn discipline. Many craftsmen believe that skill cannot simply be taught. It has to be absorbed through repetition, through observation, through experience. Day after day, the same routine, again and again, watching, listening, practicing, learning, making mistakes, and trying again. Eventually, apprentices begin learning the basic techniques: how to control the fire, how to prepare steel, how to hold a hammer, how to strike correctly. Even hammering steel isn't as simple as it looks. Experienced swordsmiths can hear subtle differences in sound. They know if the steel is too hot, too cold, too hard, or too soft. Some craftsmen say they can understand the condition of the blade simply by listening. Years pass, skills improve, but the pressure increases because forging a katana is unforgiving. One mistake can ruin weeks of work or months. Steel can crack, warp, or become unusable. Temperature matters, timing matters, experience matters, and even experienced masters still make mistakes. That's one reason why swordsmiths train for so long. Because mastering the techniques is only part of the challenge. Learning how to handle pressure is equally important. Imagine spending 3 months making a blade, preparing materials, forging, folding, grinding, polishing, only to lose everything during the final stage. It happens, and every swordsmith remembers that feeling. Failure becomes part of the journey. But there is another problem facing Japanese craftsmanship today. Fewer young people are willing to spend 10 years learning a traditional skill. Modern careers offer faster rewards, higher salaries, and more stability. Traditional crafts demand sacrifice, long hours, physical labor, and years without recognition. Many master swordsmiths are now elderly. Some workshops have only one apprentice. Some have none at all. And some traditions risk disappearing entirely. Knowledge that survived wars, natural disasters, and centuries of history could vanish within a single generation. For many craftsmen, this is their greatest concern. Not competition, not money, but whether someone will continue the craft after they are gone. Fortunately, there is also hope. Interest in Japanese craftsmanship is growing around the world. Collectors travel to Japan to meet swordsmiths. Museums exhibit traditional blades. Chefs spend hundreds, sometimes thousands, of dollars on handmade Japanese knives. People from Europe, America, Australia, and many other countries have become fascinated by Japanese craftsmanship. Social media has introduced millions of people to traditions they had never seen before. Videos of swordsmiths receive millions of views. Knife makers attract audiences from around the globe, and younger generations are slowly rediscovering these crafts. Some apprentices today were inspired by videos they watched online. Others discovered traditional crafts while traveling. For many masters, seeing people appreciate their work brings encouragement. It reminds them that these traditions still matter, that there are people who care, people who want to learn, people who want to preserve these skills. And maybe that's what craftsmanship has always been about, passing knowledge from one generation to another, not through books, not through machines, but through hands, through practice, through experience, and through time. A katana isn't simply steel. It's thousands of hours, countless failures, years of patience, and decades of accumulated knowledge, forged into a single blade. That's why collectors admire them. That's why craftsmen dedicate their lives to them. And that's why these traditions continue to survive, even today. So here's a question. Could you spend 10 years learning a single skill? Would you dedicate a decade of your life to mastering one craft? Or would you choose another path? Tell me in the comments. And if you'd like to see more stories about Japanese craftsmen, subscribe for the next journey.